There's a jungle out. There's a jungle out. There's a jungle out there and the hunt is on. A jungle out there and the hunt is on. We gonna hunt you down. We gonna hunt you down. We gonna come, we ain't playing, it's the last thing on our minds. Go crime much if you really wanna stop crime. Be safe in your home, be safe in the streets. It's a cold place and I'm really feeling the heat. I never wear gold cause someone's always peeping by the fence. Still crime much came and give TNT confidence. I had a dream in the dark, I had a dream in the spring. I had a dream like Martin Luther King. Take me friendly on the phone so you can call us. We ain't gonna call you back. Say they don't know if you call us. Say what you gonna do now. We all coming through now. There's a jungle out there and the hunt is on. A jungle out there and the hunt is on. We gonna hunt you down. We gonna hunt you down. There's a jungle out there and the hunt is on. A jungle out there and the hunt is on. We gonna hunt you down. We gonna hunt you down. We gonna come, we ain't playing, it's the last thing on our minds. Go crime much if you really wanna stop crime.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is I.A.N. Well, I'm here with Dr. Rudal Munilal, the MP, and this is with respect to the statement made by the Honorable Prime Minister on his departure this morning. And ladies and gentlemen, and I mean, we are all shocked. And you know, just what I said when the former Attorney General was taken into custody. I said that the sole intention of this current administration is to make sure and shut down the voices of the opposition. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people doubt me because you remember on Wednesday I said in front of CID in Port of Spain that there are 2 or 3 other people that they are looking at, and it's no different, and it is no different to what the president of Venezuela is doing, Maduro, shutting down the opposition. No say, so the voice of the people can never be heard. Now, I was not surprised when Dr. Keith Rowley made that statement with respect to Dr. Rudal Munilal, but it's a strong statement. And what I'm more concerned about, when he said that when he stands before court and with respect to a warrant, which means to say the Prime Minister of this country, apparently he has joined the TTPS. I don't know if he's part of the legal, if he's part of the investigative team. I don't know if they are exchanging notes. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, I will not be muzzled. I will not be muzzled. I came up here and I realized the MP for the MP, Dr. Rudal Munilal, and some of his members of his constituency and whatnot, they were in a little function, you know, and he took them out. I asked him to come out just for a couple of minutes, just for you to understand and see if Dr. Rudal Munilal, if he's crying, if he's laughing, what he has to say. You understand? Because, I mean, everybody wants to know what Dr. Rudal Munilal has to say with respect to what the Prime Minister said. And, you know, what I decided to do is to go back from the start of things when the Prime Minister said because of the independence function, visibly absent was members of the opposition, not only last year but this year. All these things we will be discussing with Dr. Rudal Munilal. Dr. Munilal, good afternoon. Are you crying? Are you running?
Well, this is not a matter to cry. It's not a matter to be happy either. It's a very serious matter. This morning, I was in the gym at around 6 a.m. this morning, and when I was finished with my workout, I got some notes and some emergency messages asking if I'd heard the Prime Minister. Fortunately, I didn't. But later in the morning, a reporter was kind enough to send me the complete audio tape of the press conference. And I listened to that in shock, in disbelief.
In shock, huh?
I was alarmed, I was disturbed. You know, it was a chilling experience to listen to what a Prime Minister is saying. And all I can say is that after this morning, our democracy is in crisis. If the Prime Minister of a country can make a statement, and I quote him because I must quote him, because my lawyers are now involved in this, when he says that he is describing when an opposition member of parliament will be in court. When? Not if or the possibility, when he's in court. As if he has information, as if he's not predicting, he's actually revealing.
He's sure.
He's sure. And today I asked the Commissioner of Police to give us an explanation as to how Dr. Keith Rowley could talk as if he has information about ongoing police investigations, and more than that, could predict the outcome of those investigations.
But before we get there, Dr. Munilal, I just want to take you back from the start when he really started to focus on the opposition. You understand? Before we go further, a lot of people like to find, how long have you been in the political arena?
I have been in politics since 1989.
That is when since God was a little boy.
Well, so was I. I've been there, but I've been in Parliament now for about 17 years. I have never come across a Prime Minister so reckless. In fact, with respect to this Prime Minister, today, this morning, I believe sincerely that Dr. Rowley was guilty of misbehavior in public office, which they accuse Anand Ramlogan of, because no Prime Minister can give that kind of information. What is he doing as leader and head of the National Security Council? Is he using that position to get information on ongoing investigations and the status of those investigations? Is he also directing the police who to arrest, when to arrest, when to go to court? These are important. Now, it's very instructive. Dr. Rowley appears to know my business.
More than you.
No, but he didn't know Lee Hunt was a citizen of Ghana. But he know when his court date for me.
But before we go further, Dr. Munilal, I have a bomb to drop about Lee Hunt, but we're going to drop it now. But he made some statement. Let's go back from the start of the conversation with respect to the Prime Minister and his press conference and whatnot this morning. He said that you all did not, the opposition did not attend the independence celebration that he had.
There was
last year and this year. Why?
What I'm saying is that there's no deliberate boycott of any national celebration at all. It is common knowledge that when you're in opposition, many members travel. They're not here for the holiday period. Many of us have constituency appointments, as I have had yesterday. because in villages and communities and so on, many people celebrate the birth of the nation. So we have smaller events, including sports days and so on, that we attend. When you're in government, because ministers are expected to be in the country around the clock, ministers generally attend to the more mega festivals and ceremonies, not opposition members generally. When we were in office as well, if you look at the record 2012, 2013, you had one, maybe two members of opposition attending these things in the morning because some were out of the country. So I think he's making a big fuss out of nothing. And you have to remember, it is Dr. Rowley who presided in a meeting in Point Fortin where they forgot to play the national anthem.
Exactly.
He has no credibility to be telling anybody about patriotism or loving the nation and so on. So that is really a lot of nonsense, quite frankly.
But do you know the citizens would on the ground, a wide cross-section of Trinbagonians believe that there's nothing to celebrate?
Well, precisely. I've spoken to many people yesterday, and look, many people send messages on the phone with a national flag, happy 55th and thing. There are people who tell me they did not even feel to respond, not even to click a response, because they felt that it was a sad day for the country.
Exactly.
There was nothing to celebrate. And then by nightfall, you come 7:13 in the night to reappoint Mr. Hunt when there are so many questions over him. This 3-day travel like Marco Polo across the world, and then they renounce his citizenship and so on. So these are some of the issues of yesterday. But in terms of this morning, if I can just return to that, this morning as well as an interesting morning, Dr. Rowley spent several minutes talking about the independence of the police service. They are independent.
Why is he defending the police service like that?
But do you know, last year, April, and I can tell you April 27, 2016, at a press conference in Port of Spain, he accused police officers of allegedly taking inducements and bribes from the former administration in matters involving investigation of government officials. So 1 year ago, he said policemen were taking inducement, or alleged that, and today he said, well, the policemen are independent. So they're only independent when they charge Anand Ram Logan, but they're not independent when we were in office. This is the hypocrisy we have to deal with.
You know, the Prime Minister made a very strong allegation with respect to your involvement with 400 million. Can you clear the air on that for me, please, or explain to us where that came from?
Again, this is I'm looking now for a proper word to use. The lack of sense that I can use on TV. The lack of sense that he speaks about. The cabinet approved monies for the EMBDC. The monies were used to pay contractors. You can only be paid if you have the paperwork in, if you have what is called completion certificates. There were contractors, quite frankly, who were saying, with good reason, that they had done their work, they wanted payments, they were scared if the PNM come in power, they would not get payments. Our approach, once people did their work, they have a completion certificate, we pay. And everything was done above board, so that there was no road program for 400 million. In fact, we never even spent $50 million on a road program. It was paying contractors what was due to them. That is why today contractors are taking this government to court.
So is there an investigation with respect to your involvement in EMBD?
The police have, I believe, an ongoing investigation.
But before,
how did Dr. Rowley know the content of that?
How do you describe a sitting Prime Minister making statement with respect to ongoing police investigation?
My suspicion, which I will confront Dr. Rowley with, but this morning, as you know, it was a hit and run. It was an early morning hit and run at Piaco, because as soon as he attacked me, he jumped on a plane and took off. So he's not here anymore for me to ask him anything. But my question is he using the National Security Council as a tool to persecute members of the opposition by getting information on investigations that he can say with confidence that Dr. Munilal will be before the court? He said when he's before the court.
When? So he's
not
sure?
He's sure. And is he now
the clerk
directed
of the peace to set a court date?
On the weekend,
or a magistrate or somebody?
Yeah, and on the weekend I understand he was a DJ. This morning he was
Last
the commissioner.
Saturday,
This morning he acted as the commissioner. He will act as everything except the Prime Minister of this country, because that this morning was reckless. And there are two initiatives I've taken.
What's that?
I've instructed my lawyers, Israel Khan Senior Counsel, to write a third letter to the Commissioner of Police with a complaint that the Prime Minister is raising these matters in the public domain. And to this day,
while the investigation is ongoing.
But we had written two letters before, and the Commissioner of Police could not respond whether or not I am involved in any matter.
Is that? I mean, I believe you are an attorney also.
Also,
right? Is that pre-publicity trial that he's trying to give you?
What he's trying to do is to prejudice.
Prejudice the investigation.
He's trying to prejudice an investigation. And what he's doing, quite openly, is he's giving a political direction to the police involved in this matter. That is what he's doing. My second thing is I've asked the civil lawyers now to look at the tape from this morning, and by Monday we will decide on a pre-action protocol letter to sue him in defamation for slander.
Tell me something. Have you hired a battery of attorney? Do you? Is it possible you can tell us your attorneys?
Well, generally my counsel for criminal matters is Mr. Israel Khan, senior counsel. His son Daniel Khan is involved with him as well. And for civil matters is generally Mr. Larry Lala.
He's a former judge.
Former judge Larry Lala, Mr. Jagdev Singh, and another team with them. So we'll be on a parallel track with civil action against the Prime Minister and a question from the criminal lawyers to the Commissioner of Police. And this time the Commissioner must be compelled to answer. Why does the Commissioner allow that? I also intend to write the Law Association. They were complaining 48 hours ago that politicians should not talk on these matters.
Exactly.
This morning the Prime Minister makes a statement on a police investigation. Is the Law Association prepared now?
And he's also the political leader of a party.
He's the political leader of a party that is attempting to persecute members of the opposition.
But tell me something. So many things going on. The board, the ferry in Tobago. So many murders. You have this man resign. His appointment revoked. He come back now while everybody's sleeping at night. He appoint the man. What really going? Do you think that he's using this to divert the attention of failure of his government?
Well, clearly, Ian, by Christmas there will be no eggs in the supermarket. All will be on the face of the PNM by Christmas. Because everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. They have blundered the appointment of Mr. Hunt. They have the ferry gate is a critical matter. Comes up incidentally Monday in the Parliament. That matter is coming up on Monday. They have the crime situation completely out of control. This is to distract attention. This morning as well, Dr. Rowley also raised an issue of race that I want to clarify.
Yeah, please.
When I spoke earlier in the week, I said that the PNM had a history of persecuting persons, and I called names. I said it was Basdev Pandey, Sat Sharma, Vijay Narayan Singh. I did not call other names. But those were the cases that were already determined by the court. I could not call Carlos John name. I could not call Brian Kwaitong name. I could not call others because those matters are still before the court. It's only when a matter is completed at the court you could pronounce, and those matters were already dealt with. He read race into that in
but do you think he's trying to make you look like a racist?
He is trying to play the race card. He's trying to play the race card because he has nothing else. This is the final fig leaf that he's hiding his naked soul behind. And the country must wake up to this, that the PNM has failed to deliver goods and services. You look around, they have failed to build roads, they have failed to complete education schools, they have failed with community centers, everything. And now persecuting the opposition members will be their final fig leaf that they want to hide behind to go to the population.
One question I'd like to ask you today, how do you describe the Prime Minister of our country telling you when you have to appear in court?
Well, that is the most bizarre. It is bizarre. It is macabre. It is Maduro-like. It is crazy. And you know, this morning to hear Prime Minister of this country talk about I blew a dog whistle, but he's the only one who heard it. So what does that say? What does that say? He's the only one that hear what I blow.
But he knows your court date. He knows that you will be facing your court. He knows that before we go further, he knows that you will be facing the court. He knows about the warrant. I mean, but this man lays in with the police.
He is undermining the rule of law, the administration of justice. I think this morning he was guilty of misbehavior in public office, and these are matters we will consider and move on him as early as next week.
But tell me something. I mean, but where do you go from here now? I mean,
well, I continue to fight. I have said before, this is a conspiracy to silence me. I want to remind the country it started with the CPEP. The CPEP took me to court. They took me to court, and you will recall, they filed an injunction to stop me from speaking. It was the first time in history. They lost the injunction, of course, but the government is on this path now where I am a central and one of the main significant targets of the government, and they will do all in their power to silence me. They believe that they can intimidate me, harass me, frighten me, and you know, I will cower, I will, you know, run away and hide, I will duck and run, but nobody will muzzle me. Nobody will suppress and oppress my rights.
Do you think he's using a Maduro template?
I think they have been
where
very
he's dealing with the opposition, because you realize, I mean, you yourself, I mean, you're a senior officials in the opposition, and if he's trying to, I mean, Attorney I.A.N Ramlogan, senior counsel, bright young man, you understand? If he's attacking the voice, the strength behind the opposition.
He is looking at the opposition figures, deciding who will be the big threat to him as the years come along, and he will take action against those people. This is exactly what is happening in Venezuela, Caracas, and elsewhere in the world too, not there alone, where there's a crackdown on opposition voices. Generally, it is the voices that are louder than the others.
But you know, again, as the Prime Minister making that statement with respect to the court, making that
Bakery Treats is known for its great baked products and service with a smile. We offer a variety of breads, cakes, and pastries. We use no preservatives or added chemicals for maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So visit us today. Put Bakery Treats on top of your shopping list.
South Trinidad, this is your final chance to visit the Indian Style Expo, located next to Fun Station, Gulfview, Raro, Maine. Now definitely closing on September 11th. Everything selling up to 80% off. Ready-made garments, footwear, handicrafts, jewelry, and many more. Enjoy the biggest Indian food court, Tandoori King, Abhi's Burger, Nanu's Kulfi, Papu's Gyro, and many more. It's the best administration of justice and credibility in the very police service that he sought to defend.
But he seemed to have information, like, you know, the way he spoke, that he has information on the former Attorney General yourself, you know, but
he has information on everybody except Leigh Hunt, on everybody except his cabinet members. Notice he said in the Ferrygate thing, he said this was a crook deal, but to this point, no minister, no board member, no chairman, Ms. Lewis or anybody else, nobody have been held to account for what the Prime Minister deemed a crook deal. So he doesn't have information on that, but he has information from the police. And this is a very frightening development. He is also facing the problem, of course, in his own cabinet, where he has some dissent and so on. We have the problem with the Senator Alwari, not Senator, AG Alwari and the children and so on, so that there's a lot of pressure.
How come nothing ever came out of that?
Well, we are going to be calling again on the army to provide an authentic, genuine and complete report that was done. And I wanted to alert the army too, because some of them feel they're above the law, that when another government takes office, that government is entitled to demand a copy of that report and to see it.
Exactly.
And if anyone may wish to publish it, that might be a political decision as well.
But I will tell you something and all. Do you think, I mean, looking at the Prime Minister making statements again with respect to when you appear in court, he has a warrant, like he's a warrant officer now. Do you think that the PNM, and maybe you said it, I will say, because I'm not intimidated by the Prime Minister, I am here for the rights of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. At the end of the day, do you think that he has, I mean, they are working close with the police, I won't say the entire TTPS, but they have their faction, their thugs in the police service, that they could deal with anybody now?
At this stage, what I can say is that we have received information from sources, both within and outside of the police service. And on the I.A.N Ramlogan matter, we have some very, very damaging information as it relates to how that matter developed. And I think Senator Gerard Ramdeen has more information to share with the public. I will not do it because it will be second-hand. But we have some information about that element of a police service that may be working in collusion with the PNM and with Dr. Rowley and others. And that piece of information will be shared in the coming days.
But tell me something, before we go, last question, I know, but how, I mean, you hear a Prime Minister talking about a warrant, not a police officer, not the Commissioner of Police. You hear him telling you about court. How your family took that?
Well, as I say, Ian, people like us, we we are made of stern stuff because we have been in battle. We have been in the trenches. We have scars to show that we have taken. You know, we face fast bowling all the time. O'Shane Thomas don't
would this silence you? Would this silence you?
No, this will never intimidate, silence or muzzle or oppress me. But having said that, it is also very hard on the family and friends as well. I must say, my colleagues, my constituents have come out here to show support. Everyone is asking, you know, how are you? People, you know, the way Dr. Rowley talk is by 4 o'clock this evening, 12 police vans stormed down at my house and
well, take me away. That is a possibility, sir.
Well, 4 o'clock gone.
That is a possibility. And they could wait for tonight to make us spend a weekend.
And they could do that. In fact, you know, I was told this morning, somebody on radio said the reason that 12 police cars went by I.A.N Ramlogan houses, they thought his children had the same training as Alwari children. So that they took all the police guns, by I.A.N Ramlogan house. But they can do that anytime. You can do that anytime. But things like that, persons like us, we are born in a struggle. We are born with defiance and resistance. But our families, our friends may not be of the same makeup. Quite rightly and frankly and correctly, they are not. But so that we always think of the family. We also think of friends, close friends who are not in politics. We could be in politics, but others are not. And it is very, you know, grueling. It is very, you know, anxiety prone. And so, you know, your heart and your mind and your concern must go to family. I mean, my family was thinking about Mr. Ramlogan's family over that 2-day, 3-day period.
I know it hit you.
Yeah, my family was thinking of his family because I.A.N is a very strong man. I spoke to him 7 o'clock on Tuesday when he was being held. And I mean, I told him, I said, his voice gave me strength because he's a very defiant and courageous man. But we were thinking of his wife and children and so on. And so, you know, you ask people, you don't think of people like us, we handle ourselves in the political arena. And if we come across any law enforcement agency that is politicized, we can handle that.
But we have that, you know, we have that, you know, that's what's going on here.
We have that, and they are working. There are elements in the law enforcement community with a political agenda. Do
you think he's coming? Because remember, I mean, as I said, using a Maduro template, he shut down the state television, everything. But do you think that he's? I mean, there is a list that there are other MPs.
I think if I had to guesstimate,
MPs, senators.
I think they probably have a list, and they are ticking off as they go along. They are ticking off as they go along, and they are deciding who will go when and when this will happen, when that happens, and they may be directing from behind the scenes. And more information on that type of development, that dark and macabre development, will come out in a few days.
Well, I am sure you have colleagues from the region. I mean, they are all watching how shameful this is.
I cannot put for a general audience the type of comments I hear from my colleagues in CARICOM, in the region about Dr. Keith Rowley, Prime Minister's country. I cannot repeat on TV the kind of things I will hear in the CARICOM area. I travel within the CARICOM quite frequently, and the statements you hear, including statements from other senior officials in the CARICOM about his conduct, about his attitude, his whole being. I mean, it is not good at all. And I think there's something called being unfit for office. I think Keith Rowley is unmade for office. It's worse.
I would tell you something. And I mean, just so you're here, and I'm hearing from up there, we had people from all who was looking at when we went live that Wednesday night with respect to the former Attorney General. And you know, word on the ground is that we would see Dr. Keith Rowley use his powers like no other prime minister and abuse it in this country. Do you agree with me?
I agree fully. He is the most unmade prime minister this country has faced, from Eric Williams come down. You know, even with PNM prime ministers over the years, there was a modicum of dignity. There was maybe a small bit of decency as well. But not with the current.
Manning was anything like this? I mean, you would have known Patrick Manning.
Patrick Manning was a deceptive diplomat. He was a very strong politician. He was clear on his policies and so on, but he, at the same time, he was very careful in how he conduct himself.
Patrick Manning, figure him out in the earlies when he said, when I pose, he becomes a raging bull.
Well, we saw it this morning. He spent 10 minutes talking about me. When he was finished with me, he said, it's time to fly. He had nothing else to say about the country. The man did not talk about crime. He did not talk about energy economy. He didn't talk about the ferry service. He didn't talk about nothing.
You were also a member while the PNM was in power and whatnot. Why Dr. Rowley is not using the stalwarts of the PNM? Where's the Jerry Naris? Where's the Joe?
He has no regard. He has no time for anybody he perceives to be more intelligent than he is. And there's a lot of people.
Is he fearful of
He's fearful that
the PNM supporters, the Manning supporters?
Patrick Manning left a big legacy.
Legacy behind.
He left a big support base. Dr. Rowley is getting rid of every one of them, cleaning them up day and night. He's in mortal fear that the Manning community in the PNM will overthrow him.
Is there undercurrent?
There's a strong undercurrent, a strong wave coming against him in the PNM, and you hear it all the time. So that Dr. Rowley has problems inside the PNM and he has problems with the national community, and this what he's doing today is to distract attention away from those issues.
Dr. Thank you again, and
thank you very much,
and you be safe and make sure you have your attorneys close by. I don't want to come by at 12 o'clock in and go live or not.
No, I won't want that either. Thank you very much.
Understand? Thanks again. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it from Dr. Rudal Munilal, and the Prime Minister made some strong statement against him. What you have is, members of his constituency. They just came because they were in a meeting. I just called them out to come out. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see more on Crime Watch and Synergy. We thank you again. Remember, we are live. Make sure and like the page. We go live at 6 o'clock. This is I.A.N. I just chat with the Member of Parliament, Dr. Rudal Munilal. Thank you again.
It's lovely.
Yo, there's a jungle out. There's a jungle out. There's a jungle out there and the hunt is on. A jungle out there and the hunt is on. We gonna hunt you down. We gonna hunt you down. We gonna come, we ain't playing, it's the last thing on our minds. Go crime much if you really wanna stop crime. Be safe in your home, be safe in the streets. It's a cold place and I'm really feeling the heat. I never wear gold cause someone's always peeping by the fence. Still crime much came and give TNT confidence. I had a dream in the dark, I had a dream in the spring. I had a dream like Martin Luther King. Take me friendly on the phone so you can call us. We ain't gonna call you back. Say they don't know if you call us. Say what you gonna do now. We all coming true now. There's a jungle out there and the hunt is on. A jungle out there and the hunt is on. We gonna hunt you down. We gonna hunt you down. There's a jungle out there and the hunt is on. A jungle out there and